Let's call this meeting to order. I'd like a motion to approve the agenda. If we can do an amendment, there's Brian. If we can do an amendment adding that we'll take action on the fuel bids, if that's okay. Let's take have a
Yep.
second.
I'll second on that.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
I. Oh,
Aye. Okay. Let's
just
stand for the
what?
pledge.
Oh, I was just gonna
What?
have one quick question. Are we allowed to do that? Because I always thought you could take stuff off the agenda, but you can't add things.
Well, we thought maybe we could, so we'll try.
Okay.
Okay, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If we find anything different, we'll do it again. Okay, public comment, Jean?
Jean Wagner, the second half of Keith and Jean Wagner, living north of town. I first of all wanted to apologize for being so agitated the last time we met with you, but and you were right, found my paper and it was in there for the 9 o'clock. I just was overly stressed. I want to submit a drawing of what we talked with Mid-America about a drainage ditch and stuff. They haven't decided anything, but we wanted to give a copy to you guys so that you have an idea, so.
Okay, great, thank you.
That way you look at it maybe before we get over there.
Thank you.
And then I did contact a couple of the neighbors and they're gonna try to be at the meeting at 4 o'clock.
Okay,
So that was nice that we're not the only ones that will show up, so.
right, well, we're gonna go too.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know that there are some people that are gonna try to come, so we appreciate that, so. Is there anything else there? But
That's it.
the map, and I made more
Okay.
copies for at the meeting so that
Okay,
Mid-America can have them too, but they did come out. We were out with them for about 2 hours. And I even had them climb our spiral staircase on the bin so they could see the lay of the land and how what we were talking about. And we took them up S Avenue. We went down to the Neely, went down to the Nottaway. So we kind of showed them a whole layout of it. And at least we felt that they listened and they were under better understanding of what we were talking about, having seen it. So that was important to us.
Good.
So,
good.
and they, like I said, they spent about 2
Yeah.
hours with us. So,
And I don't know, JD talked to the Webster County engineer about the vegetation they have under the solar.
yeah, he sent us a nice picture of
Okay,
that.
that's good. Okay. Yeah.
And that was very thoughtful. Appreciate
Good.
that. So,
Okay.
but like I said, we thought that was helpful for them to see it. So if
Yes.
you guys want to have a tour and if you guys just give me a holler and we'll take you out and show you around. It's a little hard with the corn, but at least you can kind of get the layout of what we're talking about. But,
Okay.
and they asked a lot of questions and we tried to address what they were talking about too.
That's
So,
good.
so I felt we made good progress there. So.
Very good. Thanks, Jean. Okay. Any other public comment? Okay, JD, it's your turn.
Good afternoon, JD King, Page County Engineer. It's a lovely hot summer day in Page County, but that's growing the corn and the beans, so we need it. The engineer's update went out yesterday afternoon. Blades are out. We're hauling rock with 3 trucks. We had 1 more yesterday and we had, I believe, 2 more running today. We're on the pavements and then moving to the hard surfaces. Did the pavements before the holiday. The dirt crew was finishing up on a project they had in the southeast, digging silt out of a ditch on 290th and hauling it up to 280th, where we dumped it in a big hole near the road. We're also doing some prep work for J Avenue or Juniper. It's also known as H Road. We're gonna do pipe work ahead of the cement treated base and seal coat project we're looking at for 2028. Great Patcher's working over in Sleepy Hollow. Then in the afternoon, they switched to Cold Patch as the oil would get pretty sticky. Sure it's that way today also. Later this week, they're gonna have that equipment on display at the library function.
This is the touch a truck.
Yes,
Yeah.
we've done it for several years in a row. Moving to the shop, I had a couple motor graders with minor problems. The tech should have been down working on those. Also, we have 2 international trucks. The tandems are ready to be picked up in Omaha, and we'll bring them here to Clarinda until the outfit in Des Moines is ready for the truck equipment to put on it, box, hydraulics, hitch, snow equipment, that kind of stuff. The new truck tractor sitting on the lot in Omaha. We should be ready to pick it up next week. In July. And there was doing some services on the tandem and a pickup down at the shop this week. We had a pre-construction with JB Holland, contractor for J53 work. They're gonna plan to start on the 13th of July, coming Monday. We're gonna start at the Taylor County line and work west toward their stockpiles. Probably take 2 weeks on the cement treated base part and then a couple, well, I'm not sure exactly how long the seal coat will last or will take, but it'll be faster than the other part. So started mid-July, we should be done with this in mid-August. Road will be closed to through traffic. And you're gonna have 260th Street marked as a detour. Of course, people will use whatever they want, but the official detour will be 260th.
Okay.
It's closer than running people down to J55. We're gonna do another project development work on 170th Street bridges and the F Avenue culvert. If you turn to the maps I handed out, there's 2 maps. First map is the paved route we have in the county. These are asphalts or concrete pavements. These are not hard surface roads as we characterize the seal coats. You can call them a seal coat or chip seal or bituminous surface. And it's all the same, but it's not a pavement. So with the governor's new law, all paved roads will be 60 miles an hour unless they're set differently. Unless they're posted and a resolution made designated them as 55 or some other speed. So all these roads are green will turn by statute to 60 mile an hour speed limits unless we take other action. You turn to the next page. These are routes that I would recommend we lower the speed limit to 55, which is what they are now. The reason for this is 24 miles of these roads, the short ones around Shenandoah and M60, south who runs between Yorktown down to College Springs. Those pavements have no shoulders. I think it's a reason not to have a speed limit increase, but keep it as it is. And then J 20 in the north and J 52 in the south. They have shoulders, but they're not wide shoulders. They're not, can't get off the trout. You can't pull off on the shoulder and not be hanging out in the travel way on J 20. We did speak with Sheriff McCullough. He had concerns about J 20 also. That's why we added to this. So we have signs on order. And then as they come in and we get them posted, then we'll bring a resolution or a set of resolutions and have the board designate these as 55 mile an hour. Next week is our mid-year conference. The names, Nick and I and a couple of the superintendents will attend some of that conference. If you have questions about engineers update.
I don't, excuse me, I don't have any.
You can turn to the next agenda item. Sorry about the lack of verb in the front of the topic. We took bids, turned them in last Friday. We sent out the four enterprises. Two of them sent bids back. AgriLand was low. They're our current supplier for the current fiscal year and recommend they receive the bid for next fiscal year.
Is there a hurry on this? Or can we wait till next week?
We can wait till next week.
Okay, we'll wait till next week. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
all right. So you're suggesting AgriLand because it's a low bid?
Yes.
Okay,
Explain this to me one more time. So
The numbers that are in the columns is the amount over and above the terminal price of the diesel. So they've written down the margin. Because fuel changes price all the time. They can't know that, so they're bidding a margin added to the fuel cost.
it's whatever market value is of that.
And then plus 7 cents or 0.0729. They're not making a lot of money on this enterprise.
okay.
Guess we'll bring it back next week.
Thanks, JD. Okay, Chris?
Chris Falk, Site Superintendent, for Page County Jail for the Samuels Group. Been another busy couple of weeks out there. A lot has happened. We got concrete down to the DOT portion of the highway. So we're kind of waiting a little bit to get the last of the trucks and material into the building before we pour that, because we'll have to shut the site down completely. And the guys will have to walk in to get to the site. So kind of holding off on that. It won't take them but a couple days to do that, but it will be inconvenience. And we're kind of in the finishing stages and getting some inspection done and stuff. So kind of wanted everybody to have a chance to get their stuff done. So most of the flooring in non-detention is completed. They got some epoxy. It's going to start on Monday. They got the floors ground and they'll start installing that epoxy. And then the non-detention side will be done as far as flooring is concerned. Then they will move into the detention part. They're actually this week grinding the floors in there and getting those prepped ready to go. So they will just move right in from non-detention into the booking and detention side. And that whole area will get epoxy. And so once that's applied, then that floor is done. All of our flooring will be done. They anticipate finishing sometime in the next week and a half. They'll have it all down and done. Detention frames are all installed. Most of them are painted. A lot of the glazing is in now, so glass is done. They're putting in all the detention locks, put the finishing touches on some of the doors. So a couple of the detention doors are getting painted now that we were waiting on a couple of things to happen there. Technology's going in. I know the county's had some vendors out there getting ready for our move. We had the fire marshal in today. He did a full inspection of the fire alarm system and the sprinkler system. And we passed that inspection, so now we can have, he gave us partial occupancy for the dispatch, so we could move dispatch come the 7th, 8th, and 9th. So Tony's had people in there getting that ready on the county side. We're ready on our side pretty much. Get the desk moved in there on the 6th, get them hooked up, and hopefully get them fired up by the 8th. The fire marshal will come back for another, he won't have to do the testing and inspection on a lot of the systems. He'll just do a walkthrough. Want to look at some stuff back in the jail area before he gives us occupancy back there. But right now it's just dispatch. They're the only ones that can be in there. We have some HVAC stuff. They're commissioning and starting up equipment. Trying to get that running in the building, get some humidity out of there. Plumbers are waiting on flooring to get installed so they can set fixtures. WDSI is waiting on some epoxy flooring so they can set furniture. So it's really starting to get down to the end of the line here for everything. The roof is completely trimmed out. And the lightning protection is up. That went up last week. Tomorrow they will start on the vestibule and getting that steel up. That roof is on, and then we'll finish the inside of the vestibule. They're putting in glazing. When I left there, they were doing the reception area, getting that ready to go. There is a lot of security technology that has to be programmed in and stuff. A lot of it is installed. They're just waiting on a couple other pathways so they can finish up and then they can start programming. We still have the week of July 13th as our punch list for both architectural and engineering. And we anticipate that'll take about 3 days to go through the entire building. And then they'll start, the contractors will work on whatever's left on the punch list that needs to be corrected. Tomorrow, the generator, Cummins will be there and we will fire up the generator and get start on that. That'll take 2 days, could bleed into 3. So if they work Wednesday, Thursday, they'll come back on Monday and finish up. But we have UPS backup power for dispatch, but this will give us backup power for the entire building. So yeah, that's about it. Got any questions?
That's a lot.
What happened with the polishing of the floors? The polishing of the concrete? Did Sicklers come back and do that? Or figure out? Because
They are epoxying the floors instead of polishing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So we didn't have to add a change order for that?
No,
Okay.
they just started doing it, so it's, yeah. Didn't hear anymore. Okay. Sounds like it's moving right along.
yep.
It's exciting to get dispatch moved in there.
Yep, and we'll have them in there probably before we do punch list. We'll have the final cleaners. We got a company coming in to clean down the whole building.
Mhm.
We already had them come in and do the dispatch area so that they were ready to go. So they don't have to deal with a mess in there. They're gonna come back and kind of do a touch-up cleaning once we get dispatch moved in, because I'm sure we'll make a mess getting them in there.
Yeah.
So,
Don't we have 3 days for dispatch?
yeah.
Yeah.
7th, 8th and 9th.
Yeah,
They'll be temporarily in the trailer out there. So,
okay,
while we move them. Okay,
sounds good. Thanks, Chris.
you bet.
Stay cool. Yeah. Okay. All right, any board communication? Todd, you didn't have any meetings this week, you said, right?
No,
Okay. Okay. I didn't have any. I don't think. Anyway, anything else? Okay, we need to approve claims. Any
Make a motion to
discussion?
approve Claims.
Okay, I'll
second.
second it. Okay.
Oh.
whatever. That's okay, go ahead. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and our meeting minutes from last week. The 23rd.
Third, yep. I'll approve, or make a motion, we approve minutes as stated.
Okay,
Second.
all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Nothing else to come before the board, we'll adjourn and go to our next meeting. Anything else?
Well, good luck. Wish I could go.
I know, I'm sure you do.
Sure, it's gonna be
Yeah.
interesting.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, have a motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3:32.